everybody. Debbie Cowan here with Prime Lending. And I've got my dear friend with us, Madison Allen, who is the team owner of Team Navigation at Homerun Realty.
Yes.
Hey, I did it. I did it right. We were joking because I've had to practice her introduction for the first time. So Madison and I have had a chance to do a couple of videos together, so she's not new to doing this with me, but we wanted to do one just to spotlight you. We've also been able to do one with Riley Bula out of your Tampa location.
Yes.
Melissa Gary, your team here in Ocala, Eric, and I think that's it so far, right? Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, Madison runs both operations, Tampa and Ocala, right?
Yes, I do.
And she's a very busy girl. I know that she's always recruiting great team players for her team, and she does phenomenal training. She gives a lot of support. So anyone that may be looking to make a move to a great brokerage, give Madison a call. She would love to talk to you.
Yes.
So the one thing that impresses me so much about you is that you are obviously the team owner. So I know you have agents that you have to support and keep going. And you also sell and list, by yourself, for yourself as well. But you are so involved with so many other things, like just most recently, you bought into your own title company.
Yes.
United Title. So tell us how you got into that.
So we're thinking about other ways to kind of invest and grow, and we're going to be in real estate, for the rest of our life.
Yep.
So we want to keep it all connected, and a title company kind of is that next step. And so we had the opportunity to launch a title company out of Homerun in one of the office spaces there. And we're in our...
So you're almost like a full service
real estate office now with the, construction, title, property management.
Yeah.
Like, you name it, we'll do it.
Yeah. So when was the official opening?
We opened in August for the title company.
Okay. All right.
And so it's been a couple months now, and we've had so many deals come through.
Oh,
and
wonderful.
A strong pipeline for the next month.
Yeah. So United Title.
United Title.
And it's open to anyone, right? Not just Homerun agents?
Correct.
Okay.
So it's open to any agent. It is in the Homerun office. As we expand, we'll probably look for other office spaces as well.
Yeah, keep it separate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right now it is nice, though, because I can go down there and physically talk to and get the job done on anything we need. So.
Yep. And then, was it just a natural progression to get into the title side of it?
It was a natural progression.
That's not an easy business to start.
It's not.
Did you have to go through a lot of regulations and stuff?
Learned a lot. Consulted with a lot of other business partners and people that are doing it in other areas. I definitely love learning and just meeting people that are doing it and seeing how I can do it.
Well, it's a great business. I used to work for a company that also had their own title business, and it was a great kind of a joint venture because it did give you that one stop where your agents had the opportunity to have their own title company and service them as well. There is some risk to the title world, as we all know, because anyone that's in real estate knows title is very specific, and there's a lot of I can give you a lot of kudos because there is some risk in title business. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, so
I know what to look for. I know what the title companies have done wrong in the past.
And the ones that aren't here anymore.
Exactly. You learn from that. Yeah. And you're like, this is what we're going to do to be successful and implement it.
Everything you touch, Madison, turns to gold. So I'm not really concerned about you because the other thing, which I had the opportunity to and have been there since, you also are an owner at Roma's Italian.
Yes.
And now, is your whole family in that, or just you, or?
So we have my whole family, and then we have a few other partners in Ocala as well.
And how long has that been open?
That's been since last December.
Okay.
It's been a while now.
So do you have to always go there and check when you're here and eat there too?
I like to when I come once a week, just peek my head in and see what new servers we might have or specials and stuff like that.
Are you the taste? I know you're not the taste tester. Never mind. What was I thinking?
I barely eat, so I'm not the good taste tester.
I don't know. We did a video together when we were with Riley over at the Salt Shack, and I don't know what my video said, but whoever was editing my video because it made it sound like we love seafood, but we're having a cheeseburger.
Yes, we were eating a big old cheeseburger at a seafood
I was like,
restaurant.
did I mess up that? That was not what I meant.
We're on
Yeah.
the water eating burgers though.
Yeah. It's like I'm not a seafood lover, so I'm going for the cheeseburger, but
Yep.
somehow it came out that we love seafood, but we're eating hamburgers.
That's
But
funny,
yeah,
though.
I know I've eaten with you a couple times now, so I know that you're not you're not you are a picky eater.
Yeah, I definitely am.
So I was going to ask if you were like the taste tester for the Romas, but probably
I'm the
not.
judger for sure.
Okay.
The presentation, all of that kind of stuff. But it's been really good. We've
Yeah.
changed the recipe lately, and so if you haven't been,
I have, and I can vouch for it. I'm an Italian food lover, unfortunately, because I could eat pasta every day, and the food is amazing. So if you haven't checked it out, can you let them know where it's at?
yes. Next to Ocala Palms,
Ocala-
there's a Publix Plaza,
Yeah.
and it's located in the Publix Plaza. We have two separate buildings. There's one that is the full restaurant, and then we have a full bar side as well.
Yeah, so you do have liquor there.
We have a full liquor license.
Oh boy,
And happy hour.
Yeah, now what was there before?
It was Roma's before.
And so you just bought out the existing and made it better.
Yes. So the guy that had started it and owned it for the last 20 plus years had passed away.
Okay.
And his family gave us the opportunity to kind of take over and get that stress off of them, but
Yep.
keep the same kind of atmosphere
Yep.
and recipes that he had.
So you've got all the existing older customers that have always known too, so,
Yeah.
and building it too. Well, like I said, I was overly excited to go there for when we had our luncheon there, and I was just like, oh my God, everything. I could have had something, everything, and we actually got to taste something.
They brought us some specials
Yeah,
out.
specials then they were all excellent.
Mhm.
But one of the things that I noticed with Roma's and you is that you do a lot of community
Yes.
events. So tell me a little bit about what piques your interest and what hits your heart and what kind of things you like to do from a charity standpoint.
Yeah. Kids have kind of always had my heart. I'm the oldest of 6, and I've always been a babysitter my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think in the community with Ocala, something that we've started doing is having the homeschool kids come and learn how to make pizzas and just kind of get to see the business world behind the scenes a little bit too.
Yep, that's very cool.
I'm a guardian at Lidham as well. And so I represent kids in the community that don't have anyone to speak for them in court.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's just really important to give kids a voice and just
So how do you
be
do
there.
that?
So I get assigned a case,
Uh-huh.
and right now I represent a 4-year-old little boy,
Okay.
and he is in custody with caregivers.
Okay.
And so he needs someone that can speak for his best interests at the end of the day.
And how do you become a guardian?
You apply through the state. There's
Uh-huh.
a program, and you can get verified through them. And my job is twice a month. I kind of go and I visit him and I check in on him, just see how he's doing.
It's all volunteer.
All volunteer.
I love that.
I had a visit yesterday, actually.
I love that.
It's sweet.
Yeah. So have you done this for a while?
This is my first year doing it, and I've had the same little boy this whole time. And
Oh.
so it's nice to see him grow
Yep.
and thrive and get into the environment he needs to be into and
Good.
stuff like that.
I love that. I love that. I had seen that you guys did some sort of a sponsor at some event. I can't remember, but it was. I think it was for kids too. It was a big Ocala event that you guys
Like
brought
the
all
rock program at all, or no?
Is that what it was? All I know is that you guys brought all the food because I saw it on Facebook, and the presentation was gorgeous.
Yeah.
What was it?
There was the Give Back for
That's
Ocala,
what
Give for Marion.
Yes, that's what it was. Now, what is that?
The Give for Marion is where each organization tries to raise donations and then get it matched. And we ended up doing incredible this year for how much they raised in Marion County in general.
So just other businesses, everybody is involved.
Other charities, and then the businesses donate their time and food.
Oh, wow.
And so I went and volunteered,
Yep.
and we set up the food
Right.
and had Erica, our manager, out there.
Okay.
And just serving and stuff like that.
And you guys provided all the food.
Provided all the food and time, and the goal is to get people to donate to these
So
communities.
was it like an event where they can come and donate money there?
They're on your phone. I guess there's a countdown at some point, and so
Oh.
everyone's trying to get the bid in.
Well, you
as
have to
soon
let
as
me know
possible.
next year if you guys do it, and
Yeah.
I'll come. I'll put a chef's hat on and I'll come serve for you.
Yes, I could have used the help.
Yeah, I was going to say you probably could have. So because the reason why I brought up the community stuff, because I know that you're heavily involved in a lot of stuff because
Mhm.
I see it. But also, are you born and raised here in Ocala?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me about that.
Born and raised here. I did end up going to school in Massachusetts just because I wanted to get away.
Uh-huh.
It's like I've been in a small town my whole life, and I think it would be good to just experience the world a little
Now,
bit.
was that college?
That was college.
Okay, and why Massachusetts?
So my now husband
Okay,
and
well, then I knew it had to be
it
something
had to
like
be
that.
boy, it had to be boy related.
Yeah.
We had met our first semester into college and just got attached at the hip.
Mm-hmm.
We both didn't like the school we were at and had the opportunity to go to Massachusetts.
Okay.
Both liked the school up there, and we were like, this is the move.
Oh, wow.
So he played college ball up there. I finished my studies and got a degree in public health and epidemiology.
Oh, great for real estate.
Great for real estate. I was like, you know what? But you don't need a degree for real estate. And I was like, I know it like the back of my hand.
That's the beauty of our business. We don't have to have a degree.
No, you do not.
No.
So you can go explore anything else you're interested in.
So tell me again what your degree is in.
Public health and epidemiology.
And what's the epidemic?
That was
That's
like
dermatology.
no, that's like COVID. Like that was like my
wow.
niche was like helping the public learn about is it an epidemic or a pandemic
Really?
and just kind of like all of that.
Now you weren't doing that,
I am not doing that.
and you weren't doing it during COVID or anything, right?
No.
So you never got into it.
Never got into it.
But you understood it.
I understand it. I'm big into like health and science in that sense.
Yep.
And my mom's a nurse practitioner, and so that kind of gave me like a little bit of a love
Yep.
for it too.
Yep.
But I just like genuinely love helping people and all that. So it just
That's
kind of
real estate. It all goes.
it all goes together.
Yep, it
and
does.
So I
It
can
does.
help you at any aspect in your life.
I love that. I love that. And so how did you get into real estate?
Real estate. Yeah. So I always say I grew up in it and stuff like that.
And
but,
why?
And
Like
why?
how?
Because my dad.
Okay. And who's your dad?
My dad is Steve, and he opened up Homerun Realty when I was born in 1996.
Okay.
And so as a kid, I never really understood what my dad did. I just knew he sold homes.
Right.
You know, I was like, he would parade me around and make me go to everyone's house for dinner. And just like, I would just be so bored as a kid. Like,
Right.
what are we
What are
doing?
we doing here?
Like,
Why
it's
are we
a
here?
house.
Yeah.
And as I got older, I was kind of like, okay, I'm seeing the importance of this. Like, he's meeting the community and like building the network and relationships and all of that and building this brand that, you know, one day I am going to be a part of.
Right.
And so
Because he was making sure that was going to happen.
absolutely.
That was his goal, right.
His retirement plan too with the
Yep,
kids
yep.
and stuff like that. And so in high school, I started taking it more seriously and just always being at the office with him and helping him.
Now, did your siblings do the same thing?
My brother did.
Uh-huh.
My dad got remarried years later.
Okay.
And so now they're into it.
Okay.
But in the beginning, it was my brother and I. And just doing anything we could, and even when the BPOs were, you know, happening back then, you know,
learning how to do
I went through the
those.
foreclosures.
Oh my gosh!
I watched people that would smash the granite countertops because they were mad they got foreclosed on, and learning what to do in that sense.
Listen, I can remember my first when all this was going on. My first foreclosure customer that we had to go out and check the properties too.
Yeah.
It was a brand new double wide mobile home, like their dream home for them. They had bought it like less than maybe a little bit over a year, and since it was on my list, I had to go out there, and they had already moved out. They took everything, every cabinet, every piece of copper,
that's crazy.
every baseboard. I mean, they took everything out. That all that was left in there was a shell that they could have literally built another house.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, there was so much of that going on when they got, you know,
There really was.
There was a lot of anger.
There was.
There was a lot of anger during there, but that's funny that you handled those. Now, Melissa Gary, who's on your team, did she start
She
like
did the whole same spiel.
I was going to say,
Yep.
I remember she was telling me the same thing. She was doing BPO. She was learning how to do those things.
I think that's the best way to get into real estate is to work for someone, learn how to do all those ins and outs and things you never thought twice of.
Yeah, so I mean, that had to be such a cool education because and I talk about her because she is on your team and she does a great job.
Yeah.
And it's amazing that she's only been in the business for, selling for like what, a year now?
Absolutely, yeah, a year.
It's
2 years,
amazing. Yeah, it's amazing that she's as good as she is.
It's
but
the
it's all
knowledge
the
that comes
background.
from that and just interacting with people too
Yep.
because when you do come across that angry person that's been foreclosed, how can we help you though?
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
and stuff like that, and
Be empathetic and learn
be
how.
empathetic, or if
Yep.
it, before it gets to that point, can we
Yeah.
short sale? Can
Yeah,
we
can we
work out
do
a deal with the
something?
bank? Like, I'm here to help you
Yep, exactly.
and stuff.
What are you kind of thinking we're heading in that direction?
I don't think so. I do think the economy is looking pretty rough, and people should cash out where they can.
Yeah.
But I think something's got to give. Like the prices, interest rates, something's got to
Yeah.
give. Like we're at this point now of
It's tough.
It's tough.
I mean, and I've said it many times on this video, but it's the affordability issues.
Yeah.
You know, we just don't have, it's not the fact that people don't want to buy. It's that the house pricing is high, the rates are higher. You know, every day I come in and I feel like I work for the stock market because I'm watching and I'm going, oh God,
yeah,
another increase, you know. So, but I do think
something's gonna cave.
It's gonna change because I was talking to a market analysis guy this morning that I kind of reach out to every now and then and say, okay, what are you thinking? And believe it or not, it's not always a pleasant thing. Obviously, it's a terrible thing. But if we go to war,
yeah,
you know, to potentially help Israel or whatever, war is good for our business because they have to borrow money to buy stuff, and so the rates will come down.
Yeah.
So because I've been doing this for so long, every time we've ever had that risk of or been involved in a war, our business is good.
Yeah.
Our business is good. And so, not that you wish for that, but that will be something I think that will drive that rate down for us if that happens. And then, of course, we're going into an election year too.
Yeah.
So they have to make things look, you know, rose-colored, pretty for us to vote. And, you know,
exactly.
So they'll do something there too. But this is a very unique market that we're in right now because, I mean, the inventory is still low.
Yeah.
But people still need to buy. But it's just, can they afford it right now?
It is the price right now. I mean, everything, and the sellers don't want to budge yet.
No. And I'm seeing a lot of, in fact, I talked to a couple of agents just this past weekend, and we were talking about the buy downs.
Yeah.
And looking at that versus price reductions and trying to keep the market going. And a lot of sellers are willing to do that now. I mean, I've heard recently that, you know, I had one that they wanted me to run an example for them, but they've already dropped the price $40,000 on this house. And they were willing to drop another $30,000. And I said, you know, open up your pool of buyers and offer to do a 2-1 buy down. And all of a sudden, you know, it costs you $12,000, but you're not reducing the price of the house again. Because I think, you know, buyers have a psyche, you know, and if they see constant price reductions, they're waiting. They're waiting for the next one. They're waiting for the next one.
Absolutely.
And it's also not good for our market.
And you think something's wrong with the house.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on?
Or it's just, you know, what if I wait a little bit longer, they'll go down. They'll do whatever. So, I mean, I think that it's important that we look at what kind of options there are for these sellers to get in that mindset that, I mean, yeah, they're all doing concessions now. They're getting better. But, you know, I haven't, knock on wood, I had one the other day. It was FHA, 6% concessions, and the property appraised $15,000 over list price. So it's still, you know, it's still good as far as we're not seeing the hit on the values yet. But I mean, if people keep doing the reductions, it will happen. And that's what we'll start
about
seeing
piecing the deal together too, and just knowing, like, talking with the buyers, and it's like, do you need the monthly payment to be low, or do you need this? Like,
yes,
do you need,
exactly. So I think we'll come up with so many different options too. And I'm telling you another, because I am in my mornings. That's what I do. I read, I look, I try to research things. But I mean, right now they're talking about, you know, all the non-QM products, you know, the bank statements, the no W-2s, the no income, the investor cash flow deals. 25% in certain states, one of them is Florida, are these type of buyers. And a lot of investors right now are looking, and they're using those, you know, cash flow, those investor cash flow type products where they don't have to show income. They don't have to do a lot of stuff. And sometimes, I mean, the rates are not great, but they don't really care because they're going to rent it out anyway. And as long as the rent is at least what the mortgage payment is,
they're good.
They're good. They don't have to have anything else other than that. No income docs, nothing.
Yeah.
So it's a good product. So we have to keep talking about just what works and what's the best way to find a buyer, help them get into something today, and then know that they're going to refinance in a couple of years.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, it's not nobody's going to keep these rates.
No.
Well, so last thing, I know that you live in Tampa, but you're here back and forth all the time, and you're married.
Yes.
And do you have fur babies?
Yes, I have 2 dogs.
Yes.
No kids yet.
Yep. I know it was the dogs. So you do have your fur babies.
My 2 fur babies.
Yep.
Yes.
And so, any other thing you would like to talk about with your team, or final closing comments about what you guys do and what you bring to the table?
I'm just excited for the future and all the growth we have coming. I think the team we have is great. And
Solid.
the systems we have in place and everything. So.
And you do, I mean, you do provide so much support for your
Yeah.
agents. I mean, you do leads, you do all kinds of things, right? Training.
Absolutely. The training, I'm available 24/7. You
Yep.
know, I wrote a contract for our agent at 9 p.m. the other night.
Yeah.
It's like I will make sure that what you need is handled. Because
And that's what I wanted to kind of bring up too, and just make sure everybody understands. I mean, there are different brokerages. They may do different things, but it's all about what you're going to be able to get from your broker, and know that you've got the support. And everything I've heard about you, everything I see about you, is all about taking care of your team.
Thank
and I think
you.
it's fantastic.
Yeah.
So everybody, anything else you want to add?
That's
so
it. Thank
Madison,
you.
yeah, how do they get a hold of you?
So if you want to get a hold of me, you can call or text me at 352-875-7915.
And you can always call me at 352-433-7846, because I always forget to tell people that. So call me too.
Call me, text me.
Call me, text me. Thanks, guys.